game number 3 is getting underway. At this point, it's a best-of-3 series. So, still anyone's choice of this one, but I still want these guys to play something a little bit crazy.
I don't think ErA will play the same deck 3 times in a row. So
now, gonna go with Warrior in this one, and Kranich swaps back over to Rogue. So both these guys, obviously, you know, at this point, it's cemented in my mind. The championship is important for these two.
Yeah, I think it's that, and they each know that the other guy is kind of a wild card. And so what they wanted to do was just punish them with really good decks.
We saw this last night from Muzzy. He was playing Dragon Warrior as well. Does ErA have a Deathwing in here?
Oh God, you just got really excited, didn't you?
I want a Deathwing so bad. I just want to see someone get Deathwing.
You want to see it actually happen? There it is!
Yes! Yes, ErA. Thank you.
If anyone else was going to do it, it was going to be ErA. But I want to see it actually get played. Last night, Muzzy had a Deathwing in his hand and died on turn 5.
Yeah. Now, that being said, there's not the same pressure that's going to be coming from Kranich. He's going to have to play this a little bit more slow. You know, weapons are a threat in this one. Shield slams, executes, all that stuff. I think Deathwing's a real possibility.
So I want to talk a little bit about this deck. I haven't had the pleasure of playing it a ton yet, but Muzzy did send me the deck list. He said it's pretty good. And by pretty good, he said it's actually really good if you play it right. It's Control Warrior with the Dragon element, and it tops out with Deathwing. I mean, it's just...
Well, clearly, 10 mana.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, sometimes you have some other like 8, 9 mana. I mean, there's only like maybe one other 9 mana threat. It doesn't have all the usual ones. Yeah. But this deck, it has the shell of Control Warrior, just with these threats that, when they're all coupled together, are extremely powerful. That's
the big thing about this deck, is synergy is really its main focus. If you get a strong curve with this, it is a much better looking version of Control Warrior. The problem with it is you have to get the synergy. So there is a little bit more variation in your builds, but again, you're trading that variation for extra power.
Yeah, it's also got like a Nefarian in it, and it's weird to see ErA play in a deck like this. Usually he doesn't want to play decks that can get BGH'd.
Yeah, I think it's a big point for him too, but you know, the other dragons can oftentimes pull us out, and again,
that dragon can't get BGH'd.
A well-timed Deathwing can completely change the game.
I can't believe we're saying that this season on HPL. I didn't think I'd ever be talking about Deathwing.
Yeah, he's gonna build some armor here too, really enhancing his range of removal at this point. You know, I don't want to say that this game is big trouble for Kranich right now, but he is not in a good-looking spot.
No, he's not in a good-looking spot. Now, the way that he would win a game like this is he's looking for one of those turns where he gets to turn everything around. Gets a lot of tempo. You know, maybe has one minion stick, you know, gets a Loatheb to happen, or he gets to sap a big minion and it makes him have a minion on the board for one turn, and then he's going to get, you know, Tinker Sharpshot Oil going off, use some Eviscerates, get a ton of damage in against ErA, and then hope to ride it from there. You know, ErA will always be one step behind, and it starts like this. He needs to make really good tempo plays.
Yeah. Well, SI7 Agent's going to get answered straight away, but Kranich is going to be able to fight back against that too. Can have Earthring, Farseer, and Eviscerate for it afterwards, but then ErA's going to answer right back with a second Corruptor.
Yeah, these Corruptors are going to be awesome. Now, this is what I love about this in the Warrior deck is this is something you don't always get out of Warrior. This is one hell of a tempo play.
Exactly. Like, usually weapons are the only way to do this. You're now following up on those weapons.
Yeah, and think about when they draw their weapons and this card with a dragon. It's so hard to beat that deck. They just snowball out of control.
Not only that, but these threats, I mean, Shield Maiden's already tough enough to deal with this deck. Would you have to continue to use Eviscerates on these over and over again? You're going to start running out of damage.
And these guys keep trading these back and forth against each other. You see Kranich has a little giggle here.
Yeah, but this is a much better example of how Fire Elemental is supposed to work.
Yes.
You know, you just have to take a little bit more risks with it. So Kranich not even going to answer back this Blackwing Corruptor, just going to play Azure Drake and keep digging.
Yeah, I think he wants to be more mana efficient here and just uses Azure Drake as a pseudo removal spell because it's hard to ErA to leave that around. Yeah. But we see that he has a couple of ways to take care of it here.
This is where ErA is going to take full control over this
maybe
game.
Looking for a Death Spite or something just so he doesn't have to use Shield Slam, but you know, he could use Cruel Taskmaster and execute here or get more threats on the board. Let him develop his board a little bit more. Oh, he's actually going to Shield Slam. It doesn't matter really how he uses his removal spells as long as he keeps the Cruel Taskmaster with the execute. Because Kranich doesn't have a way to punish him by pulling some giant minion.
Honestly, I'm curious about the benefits of actually trading the Corruptor here because you have two extremely long game threats in your hand right now. If you just make the most out of all your resources, you're getting a better deal. But now this is a spot where Kranich can kind of trade some of his resources, maybe use a Blade Flurry here to kind of take care of what's on board, and then ErA's going to have to answer threats afterwards. Now, the big benefit to this, he's already dealt with 3 threats in a row.
Well, yeah, like what you said, I see your point, but it's kind of two-sided. So what ErA is doing is he's presenting threats to Kranich while taking care of his threats simultaneously. Now, Kranich does have to use resources to take care of this stuff, so it is actually a way to get to the long game because Kranich is focused on controlling these boards and using all of these resources to take care of it. That's going to be a great curve.
This hand is honestly looking so good from ErA. He's handled everything perfectly so far, and he's at 44 health.
Well, here's the problem with this hand. He's not going to get to play Deathwing.
I don't know if I agree with that. You know,
I'm just saying the way the game looks right now, it doesn't look like there's the keys in Mystic.
Yep, Kranich.
It doesn't look like he's going to have a chance to play Deathwing, but
don't you say that, Tannen.
I know you want it so bad, Nathan.
It's going to happen. Kranich is going to answer his threats, and we're going to get to that point in the game.
Oh yeah, this Phantom Knife is going to get him there.
And honestly, for ErA, this Nefarian, it's such a major threat right now because if it gets sapped, it just means he's getting more spells.
Yeah. This card's actually pretty good against the Rogue deck.
I think Nefarian is a very good card. The problem is it's so difficult to actually utilize.
It's 9 mana.
Yeah, that's the big problem with it.
It's 9 mana. It doesn't have an immediate impact. Like, you know, it's an 8/8. You know, if you BGH it, and if the spells aren't good, because like he can get some really bad spells here.
Oh,
wow!
Those are not bad ones, though.
Wow, those are amazing, actually.
Did you see the way that Kranich sat up when he saw this happen?
Well, the dragon just flew over the board. Of course he's going to sit up.
Yeah. This is like that. You remember that? Did you play Skyrim at all?
No, I did not.
The very opening scene, like where you're basically just got captured and you're like a prisoner of war, and they're about to execute you, and the guy goes, "What in oblivion is that?" And just a dragon flies overhead. That's like what's happening right now.
He is going to sap the Nefarian.
He doesn't really. I don't know if he has much of an option. And he's going to shred the armor away. Wants to reduce shield slam. He does not know what is in ErA's hand right now. It could be a disaster.
There's no way he Deathwings, right?
No, there's 0%. No, yeah, he's just going to slam Deathwing right now.
Beat it.
Actual 0% chance.
I mean, now, since he spent mana. Hey, Kranich, you like those eviscerates, right?
Yeah, here's a little taste of your own medicine for you. And still a sabotage in hand, which is actually a pretty big deal, because Kranich is likely to rely on having a big weapon turn.
Yeah, now Kranich, I like the way he's set this game up. You know, he's getting initiative back. He's going to be able to either sprint this turn or Violet Teacher, a card that's actually pretty good in the Warrior matchup. But
he's looking at a Death Spite right now. Yeah. You know, Violet Teacher does not look very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's probably going to do some sprint action this turn and try to find something like, you know, Pilot Shredder here, and then eventually get the Violet Teacher into play.
Yeah, Prep Sprint is looking forward to playing the rest of his hand that he draws here. Backstab no good.
That's a really bad one in this matchup.
Okay.
Agent something to do.
Yep.
Get in one, redagger up.
So, still not looking too terrible for Kranich at this point. You know, has put together a lot of damage. ErA's not in an extremely comfortable spot.
Yeah, another clean Nefarian turn here though, if he wants it.
He's got to be worried about sap though. I don't think he wants to use his Death Spite. I think it's probably one of the last things he actually wants to do.
Well, Kranich certainly does. He certainly wants ErA to use his Death Spite here.
That's what this play is designed to do. That's why he sprinted, is because he wants to get the Violet Teacher value. But ErA's even got a backup play. He's got a Brawl in his hand.
He's also got a Deathwing, Nathan.
Thanks for reminding me.
Hey, Nathan. ErA's got a Deathwing in his hand.
Certainly does. Very mindful of his life total. So this speaking a lot of confidence for ErA's ability to close out this game based on just the removal spells. He thinks if he keeps his life total high, he's got this one in the bag. And I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Oh, sprint and a prep? Come on. Come on.
Wow. What major draws.
You know, if you mix those two up a little bit, the way that he drew them, you know, not as good, but the way they came in his hand, you know, Sabotage with Eviscerate and then prep with Sprint, just unbelievable.
So Sap.
Warrior doesn't need preparation. Come on.
Sap on Nefarian. Third Nefarian potential to get played this turn. And now Kranich, does he want more tokens in this spot? Yeah, he's going to Deadly Poison up. And I don't think he's going to swing. I think he's going to hold this back. And no, he is going to swing.
Getting aggressive with Kranich. A second Brawl.
Yeah, with 2 Brawls, this is certainly a Brawl turn. And he's even going to Sabotage the remaining minion. What a great turn.
Yeah, if it's the teacher left over. I mean, if it's a 1/1, there's a chance he might just leave it alone. But
he's got to be worried about Tinker Sharp. So
yeah, I mean,
and again, Kranich is so low on cards, and you have so much stuff. Like, do you even need all these cards in your hand? I actually like the big game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's just going to play BGH, and I like this. You know, it does run into a backstab that you can almost believe is always there. Great draw from Kranich here.
Well, it's going to backfire, though. He's going to, I mean, he's moving all in this turn, I think.
Just Deathwing him, ErA. He doesn't have any saps left.
There's the Fan of Knives. Second Brawl is going to clean up this board very nicely.
That Lotheb, Kranich,
which is actually a pretty big deal right now.
Yeah, now, you know, he's got Brawlic in with Sabotage backed behind it just in case.
There's the second Brawl. Lotheb not going to be able to shut that down, but ErA doesn't have a super good follow-up to this.
Well, he can Fiery War Axe, take care of the 1-1 here and armor up. This isn't the worst turn ever.
So is it 22? Can Kranich close it out from this spot? You know, I think that the Sabotage, being able to check the Lotheb, is actually the big difference in this game. The fact that he's gotten 4 extra spells.
Do you think ErA likes Taylor Swift?
Don't know where that is coming from, but...
You said he's at 22. I mean, come on. Not that big of a leap.
That's a big leap.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It's a pretty big one. Kranich going to keep squeezing in damage, and his next turn is set up pretty nicely here.
Yeah, he's got a South Sea deckhand that he can, you know, use Tinker Sharps and Oil and Deadly Poison, get in a ton of damage with.
You know, ErA was looking actually pretty darn good this game, but this is looking like it might be able to slip away here.
So you thinking about...
No way. There's no way. What?
I want to see the reaction from Kranich here if this happens. Just do it, ErA. Just play it.
Why wouldn't you just Sabotage? Is it 12-12 this important? I guess he doesn't have the Fiery War Axe in play. This does threaten lethal next turn. You know, the more that I think about it, this is actually the right play.
Yeah, just threaten lethal? Yeah.
I think this is actually right.
He's so scared to do this, though. He's so scared to be wrong. I love this.
There it is. Oh, my gosh. ErA is going to Deathwing and discard 6 cards, and now Kranich has lethal threatened on him. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Doesn't have the damage actually to even kill the Deathwing, I don't think.
Yeah, he would have to attack it. He would
Yeah,
just
he would
take
have to attack
12,
it.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Not only are you getting to see a Deathwing, it's going to win the game.
And he discarded 6 cards to do it. He discarded 3 other dragons. Yes!
Oh, that's
This
so
is
awesome.
what I wanted to see. ErA moves all in on a Deathwing, discarding his entire hand, sets up lethal with it. My season is complete at this point. ErA, thank you so much. This is the most beautiful game of Hearthstone ever played.